Good morning. We're going to disturb the peace of our library. We think we have very good reason, as you can see by just looking around you. This is our official chance to celebrate the recently completed renovation. I'll be the first of three speakers. We'll try to keep this short, and then we'll cut our ceremonial ribbon here. My name is Robert Thompson. I'm the chair of the Library Board of Trustees. Welcome to all of you. Sandwich, you did it. Congratulations. It took a town-wide effort to create a modern library inside this historic building. The library's leaders, town officials, and planners created a splendid design appropriate for our community. The select board, town manager, and assistant town manager supported it and came up with a way to meet expenses without raising taxes. The library trustees, with Mark Wickland as chair, and the Friends of the Library helped create an energetic campaign to explain the plan and build public support. The voters understood the significance of a modern library as part of a vibrant community. The construction team did a fine job executing the plan despite the difficulties created by the pandemic. Our library director, Joanne Malone, our indispensable woman, and her exceptional staff went above and beyond to maintain the library services during the renovation and prepare this building for the reopening. After we cut the ribbon, there won't be much left for the rest of us to do but to pick up a book and enjoy the benefits of your labors. Thank you all very much. Now I'd like to introduce our Assistant Town Manager, Heather Harper.
I feel like I should be, I'm speaking to the camera, but to all of you. First of all, I want to thank our town manager, Bud Dunham, for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the construction team about this project. And I first want to say thank you. Thank you to the team, to all of you, for an incredible introduction to this beautiful Sandwich community through the heart of the community here, and that's the Sandwich Public Library. I certainly know how hard and how long all of you worked to bring this vision to life. Real great credit is due to those who came before me, the policy leaders, fiscal leaders, selectmen, finance committee, and management team that prior to my arrival were working on the new growth that was anticipated with the new canal generating plant and how to manage that opportunity. And they saw that both as an opportunity to create fiscal sustainability by increasing the levy capacity for our community and keeping that in place for the long term for the community, at the same time as funding long desired community projects, including this beautiful public library. So real credit is due to those, that great policy thinking, creating something for the now and for the future. So thank you to all of you. And certainly there's no other win-win than you can think of than creating fiscal sustainability and making improvements in the community at the same time. Well done. This obviously took support from the community, the trustees, the finance committee, the selectmen, and town meeting. Well done. I do want to talk a little bit about the work team, and I just can't say enough about the efficiency and professionalism of the folks that we worked with, and how having the work team that we have in place and empowering that team to make decisions at the table as they arise allows this community to build construction projects without the protests and some of the unpleasantness you often see in public construction. So thank you all to the team for that professionalism. Before I go into the self-congratulation that is most necessary in a project like this, I do want to recognize those folks that aren't here. The tradespeople, the technicians, the laborers, the electricians, the technical folks that worked really to build this project. So for those of you that are not here, that spent tens and tens of hours making sure that these ceilings fit perfectly, and many other technical items that we could spend time talking about. Thank you to those of you that are not here. So I do want to recognize our project team, and I'm going to take a couple of minutes to do that. And if when I mention your name, if you're here, if you would just raise your hand so we can recognize you. I want to start sort of in the order that we engage our professional team. And so the first is Pomeroy Associates, and Neil Provo is our on-site manager. He's probably not here because he's also, oh, is he Neil? Neil over here. Thank you, Neil. Neil doesn't say much, but when he does, you better listen. Virgil Pacheco. There's Virgil. Hey, Virgil. On the other hand,
Quiet though.
no, Virgil really was terrific in all of the conventional construction trades issues, but also supremely effective in things like furnishings, and who could forget, gosh, I can't even remember what it's called, I tried to forget it, but the pre-qualification process, which is just a voluminous process that involves many town staff and professionals to make that happen. Taylor McDonald is a project manager and partner at Pomeroy Associates, was a supporting cast here. Great problem solver. We'll get to know him a lot more on the Center for Active Living project, and you all will as well. And then lastly, from Pomeroy Associates, Rick Pomeroy, their fearless leader. I went on their website to take a look at their mission statement, and I think it says bids come in under budget and projects come in on time. That's not really the mission, but that really is what Pomeroy Associates does. And we've experienced that at least one time and expect that to happen twice. So a great, trusted partner of the town. So thank you very much, Rick. And so I'm going to move right on to Studio MLA and David King Architects, and I think they're all here. And I'm sort of starting order in those that participated the most much on site. And I want to start with Liz Hall, Studio MLA Architectural Associate. And all I can say is just look around, right? Liz had a thoughtful and creative approach to an integrated renovation, connecting the current with the historic in an approachable way. So thank you, Liz. David King Architects is just excellent. He understands libraries and historic preservation, and he and Liz made a terrific team. He's quiet but incredibly effective. Thank you, David. And then Michael Lindstrom, the principal of Studio MLA. The sign of a great leader is the faith that he places in his team. We didn't see a lot of Michael, but we know he was in the background, had a strong role, and that is not a complaint by any stretch, a strong role in design features, but he allowed his team to carry out the MLA vision, so thank you for that. And then I'm going to move right on, and I'm not going to be too much longer, to the construction team. And we had a terrific general contractor, Delphi Construction. First, I want to recognize Keith Shaw, the president. I'm not sure if he's here. He sat with us early on, right over here in this corner. Early in the days of the pandemic, we all sat there with masks on, and that was the last time we were together in person for, I don't know, close to a year through the process. So, David, I hope your wife is happy. I mean, Keith Shaw, I hope your wife is proud, residents of our community. Michael Prancer, project manager. It's the first time I've seen him smile. Not true, but a classic construction project manager, and the outcome shows he's firm, responsive, and effective. Thank you. Ryan Fekta, the assistant project manager, clearly the brains behind the operation, kept meticulous care of the schedules, the contracts, the meeting notes, but most importantly, the hot list. I had never seen a hot list until this project, but you can ask Ryan what that's about. And then, of course, Ray Edwards. Do you think we were going to forget about you, Ray?
Never.
Ray is the on-site, really just both a talented construction project manager, but hands-on in every way. Thank you for all the extras that you helped us with. And then I can't forget, of course, our town team. And the list could go on. I'm going to focus just to those who participated at the table. Bud Dunham, our fearless leader, again, fearless leaders have faith in their team and in me, thank you. I want to talk a little bit about Brendan Brides, our building commissioner. Thank you for your service. Participated in every meeting until we issued a certificate of occupancy, which was last week or the week before. And he looks to solve problems through design rather than identify them in inspection. And if anyone has worked with inspectors, it's often the latter. To inspect and identify rather than solve. So thank you very much for being there, Brendan. And then Brian Schlegel, our Director of Facilities. In fact, I just saw 2 facilities staff leave on my way in here. Brian's absolutely dedicated to getting every detail right for the town. he and his team could not have been more supportive of all of the non-contract items, and Joanne knows what I'm talking about, and there were many, large and small. Brian and his team are a big reason that all of you will be happy with this library for a very long time. So thank you, Brian, and the facility staff. And last but not least, of course, is Joanne Malone, our library director, just outstanding and really incredible. She focused on not just the details, but the right details. She led her staff through some really incredible times, and I'm going to let her speak about that. But if the library is the heart of the community, Joanne is the atrium, pumping fresh oxygen throughout the heart. So in closing, I just want to congratulate Sandwich on these beautiful improvements to the heart of our community. And on to our library director, Joanne Malone. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Heather. I don't think I've ever been called an atrium before. Maybe I want to be a balustrade. For my architect friends in the audience. So, thank you everyone for coming. It's been quite a ride. I wanted to speak a little bit about the process. So if we rewind back to March of 2020, a bajillion years ago, and we were all in the library and we saw what was happening out in the world. And then Disney World shut down, and we knew this was real. So we got the notice from the town to close down the library, and we prepped to do that. We busily worked to figure out what we were going to do remotely to continue to serve our patrons. Time went on, and we were still trying to figure stuff out, and in the summer of 2020, we actually reopened the library with new COVID protocols under the incredible guidance of Dave Mason and Chief Burke in town. We were the only library on Cape Cod to be open. We were one of the few libraries in Massachusetts to be open. We welcomed our patrons. Granted, we weren't offering all that service. So we continued on, and then the project began. It's time to shut down again. So we shut down again, worked busily behind the scenes to create an outstanding library environment in our much beloved, much missed, believe it or not, Sand Hill School, to again provide library services to the community while still working on this project. So we went through the summer with remote programming and all the things that we, wanted to do for the community. And then it came time to move back. So it's been a heck of a roller coaster. And I have to just really commend, and I have to laugh, because I've always said the greatest asset this library has is its staff. I want you all to know they're still at their workstations. Like, really? It's a celebration. It is an incredible pleasure to work with these folks each and every day. Their support of one another, their resiliency, their commitment to public service, and the construction team will tell you, they've been in the building behind the scenes, is we have a lot of fun doing it too. So, huge round of applause, please, to the library. So I just want to piggyback on a couple of little things that Heather did, because, it wouldn't be me talking if there wasn't some irreverence. So let's do it. I want to single some people out. So, first of all, Liz Hall. So Heather noticed, look around. And when Liz and I first got together and talked about the vision of the library, and I said to her, I kind of want a beachy vibe. And I was telling a friend of mine that, and she said, well, like, how much of a beachy vibe? Like, not hit you over the head Christmas tree shop beachy vibe? Liz just nailed it. She was a pleasure to work with. I think you're going to go very far, Liz, and I appreciate our time together, which isn't over. Next to Liz is Ryan. Ryan Fecto from Delphi Construction. So I want to adopt Ryan. He is a delightful young man, but the best thing he did for me during this whole project, because as the guys will tell you, I tend to get a little frenetic. And Ryan would just smile and say, "Yes, ma'am." Ray Edwards, everybody should have a Ray Edwards in their life. He was our own Energizer bunny. The guy can do anything. Then for Pomeroy Associates, oh, and Mike Peronic, I don't want to forget Mike. How could I forget Mike? So one of the best things about Mike, there was one day that Mike brought his two sweet, adorable kids and his son Cameron and his daughter Cora. And we were still under construction, and I took the kids into the new children's room. And I said, "Here, come, I want you to see something." And I took them around piles of furniture and boxes. And Cameron stood at the Oculus and just had this look on his face that I knew we were doing something good here. So I thank you, Mike, for bringing those guys in and giving me a vote of confidence. I can't forget Virgil. Virgil and I talk, I don't know, 5-6 times a day. So the rest of the team, has anyone ever counted how many times Virgil says, "At the end of the day"? I was going to get him a t-shirt. I want to also thank David King. David, I have to apologize. I'm glad you won the battle of the coffered ceiling, because people do indeed look up. So those are just sort of our little anecdotal things. I also want to acknowledge, dispersed through the crowd, are members of the Friends of the Library. Tammy McDevitt is the president. Some of you I can't see. Thanking them for all their support, the nice things they do for us behind the scenes, not just for the community, but giving the staff a little boost of encouragement during this incredibly crazy 18 months. We actually have the bookstore open today, the Friends Book Sale Room, if you want to go down, take a look and perhaps buy something and support the Friends. The trustees, it's a pleasure again to work for such an enthusiastic, incredible board. And most of all, I want to thank the community for making sure this project happened, for the feelings that we get when someone stops at that door, and there's just an incredible feeling of, oh, we know that we did something right. So, welcome you all to the library. We're looking forward to many years here in our great new digs, and again, thank you all for coming.
That's no lie, these are serious.
Three of them.
Welcome.
Yeah.